So you're not going to like this one. I know I didn't. And the spirits have been speaking to me about this one for many years. You know, it's difficult to know how to word it really, because either way it's not going to be liked. The thing is, we go from the milk of the mother's milk to the sugar nipple. The sugar nipple, you know, it's in everything. In the Western world, you know, in particular, it's in all the products we buy. You know, a lot of the time, because we don't grow fresh produce ourselves anymore, we go to the shops to purchase it. Generally, obviously, fresh stuff tastes fantastic usually, and so there's nothing, you don't need to add anything. You might just add a knob of butter to a carrot, and it's, if you've homegrown it, it's absolutely amazing. You know, you don't need to have to do anything. Obviously, sugar, you put it into preservatives as well. But generally speaking, if things are not fresh and delicious, you will add things to make them more palatable and taste nicer. And sugar, of course, is one of those things, but it's pretty much out of control really now. I mean, when you know that sugar is in everything, condiments, salad cream, mayonnaise, pickles. Obviously, there are sweet pickles, but when you know that it's virtually in everything, you've got to really work really hard. If we think about this objectively, we've got to work really, really hard to avoid sugar. Something's gone wrong. And it's been such a subtle kind of thing that it's really akin to a kind of brainwashing, really, or taste washing. It's a taste washing as well. We've become accustomed to it. We all know. But here's the thing, we don't really think it matters. We don't think it's that important. And the spirits are here to say it really does. I mean, for myself, as a chocoholic, really. I mean, I've always loved chocolate. I mean, really. You know, I haven't overindulged too much. Well, yes, I have. But you know, generally speaking, you know, that's been the thing. And for women, of course, the chocolate is the thing usually, isn't it? It's tough, you know, it does give that massive brain high, you know, it does give that massive high, you know, but the spirits have been saying this for many, many years for me as well, and, you know, it's time to voice that really, that it's really, our bodies hate it. And because of the fact, if we do stuff to our bodies that our bodies can't process properly, or certainly as we get older, they can't process it properly. You know, we're probably fine, we're bouncy and we're young and we're fresh. And, you know, we can have any amounts of sugar and stuff and it doesn't really affect us. But certainly as you get to my age and you get older, you really notice that the crashes get longer. The crashes get longer and harder and more unpleasant, definitely. And the spirits are very much saying that because it's a toxin, like alcohol, also a toxin, if our body has to work really hard to process it, then it is an act of unlove to consume it. Any of it. If we think of it more like salt, and how much salt we partake in our food, how much we put on our food, that's about the same amount of sugar that we should be having. You know, unless we haven't eaten dietary particulars that are different. But generally speaking, for the healthy human being, the same amount of salt is about right for sugar, you know. It really should be avoided, you know. Why bother? Why not? Why not enjoy yourself? Why not enjoy it? Well, law of attraction can't reach us we'll almost stay flatlined at a certain level. We just don't know why we can't get that wonderful job that we've worked so hard for, or that lovely house, and this sounds kind of weird, I know it sounds weird, like that's got nothing to do with sugar. It totally has. And the reason it totally has is because we are energy first. We are value energy awareness first, before we squeeze into our human box shape. Please see the video on human box. So therefore, anything that we do to ourselves that is an act of unlove will cause a drain in that energy vase. Please see the energy vase video. It will cause a drain in that energy, which means we can't, these good things, if our energy should be up there to reach these good things and our energy is down there, thanks to consuming toxins, we cannot get to these lovely, wonderful things. They won't come to us. They really won't. And here's the thing as well. If you do find, let's say you've given up sugar for a month, fantastic, that was lovely, really good. And things have really started, don't know why, but things have really improved. You know, that thing, I could never work out how to do that, just worked out how to do it. Because your brain is not going, you know, insulin, make insulin, mop all this sugar up, mop all this sugar. Your brain has to work so hard with the pancreas and insulin and mopping up all the sugar around the system. It has to work so very hard. It's an act of unlove to ask it to do that, to be like dirty old Cinderella. Go on, get working, go on. Clean that fireplace, blacken that fireplace, mop, scrub, get on the floor, you old scrubber. You know, that's what we're kind of saying. We are, but we don't think that this relates to our life because we are energy first. It absolutely does totally relate to our life. Any toxins that we consume are an acts of unlove. Yeah, so I was going to if you've done it for a month or something, wonderful, you know, and things have improved for that month. When you then go back to that sugar, please see the video on a separate reality. Your reality would have gone to a different rung of the ladder, not having sugar. And when you go back to having sugar, you will bump back down again to that lower rung of that ladder in terms of value. In terms of energy body, your diamond energy would have gone down again with a bump. So those not so good things will start reoccurring, or new not so good things will start reoccurring. Your bank balance will gone, you know, all over the place, and all sorts of things that we care about. It's like sand through the fingers. We can't. Oh, well, what happened there? Any kind of toxin that we give ourselves is an act of unlove to our diamond energy, you know, our spiritual vase. So anything that we do like this, and it's the same with these white carbohydrates, these starchy carbohydrates. As you get older, you notice it again. You can get away with this when you're younger, not so much when you're older. These starchy carbohydrates without the full grain, if you like, the full grain obviously much healthier for us. But if we've binned the good bit, we just eat the starchy carbohydrate, spikes our sugar as well. So the body has got to work, and the liver has to store all this fat. It's a massive amount of tasks that our body has to involuntarily begin, you know, and it takes time for it to work. All the hormone balancing and all the, you know, it's like throwing a massive amount of work at ourselves. We don't have to do the work, really. We've just eaten the chocolate bar, yum, 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 and it was delicious. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah, of course it was. But then the body has to take all the fallout. The body's got the fallout, you know, and we know that was an act of unlove. And so we will have energy crash. And law of attraction can only give us what matches that. And we will be surprised how these cause these low bumps and jumps down. Please see the videos on addiction, because that's really helpful in freeing ourselves from these patterns of these addictions that we go into. It's not the thing itself, actually. We do think that it's absolutely chocolate that I am addicted to, and I understand because I was there. But it is not the thing itself. It's the pain that's grabbing for this thing that we've fixated on. And we've chosen, could be fixation on this, that, or the other. Could be a fixation on sex, you know, but it's a fixation. It's the pain that initiates the addictive grab. Yeah. And so it's also these white processed carbohydrates as well. You know, if we're thinking in terms of a pizza, as I said, unless you have any particular health requirements. For the generally healthy person, the correct amount of pizza slice you would have would be about 1 or half a slice. We really need very little, very little. So the protein and the vegetables and the minerals and the fruits are the essentials, really. And these are, of course, the diets that we've been brought up, the berries, the hunter-gatherers. This was the healthy diet that we consumed hundreds of years ago. This is what our DNA has processed. This is what's healthy for us. And of course, sugar is also in the gut. Is very hard. It is not good for the gut either, because of course, the sugar, it changes the pH of the gut. And in order for the bacteria the good bacteria that we need, that we have in our gut, or billions of them, that process and work really hard, keeping our health, they serve our immune system, and so they stop all the bad things, the pathogens coming in, and if we're making their job more difficult by changing the pH and having different kinds of bacteria, we are again unloving ourselves. And this seems so disconnected. And this is the fundamental takeaway. It absolutely is not disconnected from how good our life is going. Our finances, for example. It is absolutely not disconnected from any of us, because we're energy first. And unlove affects our energy. It affects anything and everything in our world. Bizarre, buying a house fell through. And we don't relate it back to consuming some toxin, and then we'll go on an addictive drive to help ourselves feel better because of the pain after the thing that went wrong. So we get into patterns, of course, negative patterns. But first and foremost, those toxins that our body hates to give ourselves is like, when you see cracks forming in an ice, you're walking along the ice and there's cracks in the ice all of a sudden. If we think of our spiritual body as kind of like an ice rink, really, and if we do these toxins, we see all these cracks start. These cracks are leaks in energy value, in energy awareness. And leaks means that energy starts to come out, be leaked, which can only mean one thing, a drop in that energy vase. And then those good things, we're out of pace with those good things coming anywhere near us. They can't reach us because we're not high enough level to reach them, because we've decided or chosen to drop down our diamond energy, our vase, our diamond energy. So they are absolutely not disconnected. And the thing of it is, once we hopefully heal our wounds so that we don't grab for our addictions so much, and we can perhaps give up these things, we'll find ourselves going up rungs of the ladder in terms of energy, which will be shockingly surprising, and really good things start to happen. We've made things happen we haven't ever been able to make happen before. It's kind of like little miracles happening everywhere. But then of course, if we just think, oh, I've been really good, I'll just treat myself birthday, because I used to do this. Well, let's just have it at birthdays or Christmas or special celebrations. Let's have a big treat then. Big crash down, of course. All of the energy and love that I've saved, all that self-love that I've, full of self-love, treating myself such kindness. It's like suddenly letting the air out of a tyre, things are going to not work out. Oh, my bike broke. Oh, that's weird. We think these things are just not connected. They so totally are. Anything and everything that we thought wasn't related is, because we are energy first. It is our energy that is being affected. This is why the good things or the bad things, because our energy, it is the litmus paper. Our energy is the deciding factor. How good is our loving energy? How good is our self-love? How good is our energy body? How many wounds have we got festering away, leaking away, making more bad things happen to us? My car broke, had to get it repaired, cost me £1,000. You know, boo, boo, down, down, down. We think these things are not related. They so are. Yeah. That's what they really wanted to say today. Okay.